The storm howled across the frozen wasteland of Antarctica. White snow danced in violent swirls, hiding the research station beneath a wall of frost. Inside, a few tired scientists worked through the night, their screens glowing faintly against the cold darkness. It was supposed to be a quiet mission, routine drilling to study ice cores. But tonight something strange echoed through the sensors. Dr. Elena Ward leaned over her console. "That can't be right," she whispered. The signal repeating on her screen wasn't natural. It pulsed, steady, rhythmic like a heartbeat. Every few seconds, a low-frequency hum traveled through the ice shelf below their feet. Her assistant frowned. "Seismic activity?" "No," she replied. "Too regular, too deliberate." For hours, the pattern continued. The signal carried data, numbers, coordinates, and something else. A name buried in code, Erebus. When they transmitted the readings to the United Earth Science Council, silence followed for hours. Then a single encrypted message came back. "Seal the site. Reinforcements inbound." 3 days later, a fleet of military dropships landed on the ice. Soldiers poured out, setting up barriers and equipment. Drones swarmed overhead, mapping the glacier below. The research team was ordered to stand back as the military took control. General Marcus Hale, a tall man with a calm but heavy face, stepped forward. "Dr. Ward, your discovery may be older than any of us imagined." He showed her a classified image, a blurred outline deep beneath the surface. It wasn't a rock formation. It was metal, smooth, vast, and shaped like a ship. She blinked. "A ship down there? That's impossible." Hale looked at her with a grave expression. "Not impossible, just forgotten." The excavation began. Massive heat drills cut through centuries of ice. The deeper they went, the stronger the signal grew. Machines started failing. Radios hissed with static. The temperature sensors glitched, showing impossible readings, heat rising from deep below. On the 6th day, the ground trembled. Ice cracked in long, thunderous lines. A deep roar echoed through the valley. The drill stopped automatically. The lead engineer shouted over the noise. "Power surge. The source is activating itself." Dr. Ward ran to her terminal. The signal had changed. Now it wasn't just a heartbeat, it was words. Ancient Earth English, distorted by static. "Humanity, confirmed, protocol awakening." She stared in disbelief. "It's responding to us." At dawn, the ice broke apart. A colossal shadow moved beneath the surface. Then, with a rumble like the sky tearing open, something began to rise. Towers of ice shattered as a black hull pushed upward, glowing faintly with blue lines that pulsed like veins. The ship emerged, massive, silent, and impossibly advanced. Snow slid off its armored surface like water. It was larger than any carrier ever built, stretching from one ridge to another. The soldiers fell to their knees as they realized what they were looking at. A name glowed faintly on the side of the ship, revealed beneath layers of ice. U.N.S. Erebus, humanity's shield. The name was worn but still clear. It wasn't alien. It was human. General Hale whispered, "No record exists of a ship like this." "It shouldn't exist at all," Dr. Ward stared in awe. "Then where did it come from?" Before anyone could answer, the engines beneath the ship ignited. Not flames, but light. It lifted slowly from the crater, defying gravity, hovering silently above the ice. Wind screamed across the valley. Snow erupted in whirlwinds around it. Inside the command center, alarms blared. Satellite feeds showed the same event. Every major city on Earth was watching live. Across the stars, in distant alien territories, sensors picked up the activation signal. Governments panicked. The old enemy, the one they thought extinct, was stirring again. The data confirmed it. The energy signature belonged to pre-war human technology. The lost supercarrier of Earth had awakened. As the Erebus hovered higher, a voice filled the comms, calm, feminine. "Mechanical, this is Mother Core, awaiting command authority." The soldiers looked around, terrified. No one had spoken. Dr. Ward stepped forward. "This is Dr. Elena Ward of the United Earth Science Division. Identify your mission." There was a pause, then the voice replied, "Primary mission, protect humanity. Status incomplete. Reinitializing defense systems." Around the ship, glowing blue drones detached from its hull and spread through the sky. They formed a defensive perimeter, scanning for threats. The Erebus's engines grew brighter, melting the ice below into rivers of steam. General Hale turned to his men. "Get everyone back. That ship isn't waiting for us to decide what happens next." Above them, the colossal vessel turned its bow toward the rising sun. Its hull shimmered with symbols, unit markings, battle scars, and old human emblems from wars no one remembered. Dr. Ward whispered, "It's not just a ship. It's history itself." And in orbit, distant satellites transmitted one final reading. The Erebus was charging a jump drive. Destination unknown. The message it left behind was short, carved into the data stream for the world to see. Humanity has returned. The morning sky above Antarctica glowed pale gold as the sun rose over the horizon. The U.N.S. Erebus hovered silently in the air, its enormous shadow stretching across miles of ice. Wind rushed around its metal hull, carrying the echoes of an ancient machine returning to life. General Hale stood on the observation ridge, the freezing air biting his face as he stared at the impossible sight. The ship hummed with power, low, steady, alive. No one had given it energy. No one controlled it. Yet it moved as if it had a mind of its own. Dr. Elena Ward stood beside him, her eyes wide with awe. "It shouldn't be able to fly," she whispered. "We don't have that technology, not even close." Hale didn't respond. He was watching the rows of blue lights running down the ship's hull, each pulse spreading like veins through the steel. The Erebus wasn't just awake, it was aware. Hours later, every nation on Earth went into emergency communication. News feeds across the world broadcasted the event live. Headlines screamed, "Ancient human ship found alive." "Lost supercarrier defies science." "Is humanity's old war machine back?" While the world argued, the Erebus rose higher, piercing the clouds. It paused at the edge of the atmosphere, motionless and silent like a guardian watching its home. Then, without warning, it transmitted a message to all human frequencies. "This is Mother Core. Awaiting command authentication. No valid authority detected. Initiating preservation protocol." All human systems blinked. Satellites, stations, defense grids, all received the same transmission. The code was ancient, older than the current governments, but still perfectly functional. The Erebus began connecting to old orbital networks that hadn't existed for centuries. Dr. Ward realized what was happening. It's rebuilding Earth's old defense web. It's restoring the system that was destroyed during the Galactic War. Hale's jaw tightened. Then it remembers everything. In orbit, the Erebus opened massive hangar bays. From within, swarms of small craft emerged, drones shaped like metallic hawks. They fanned out in perfect formation, scanning satellites, fixing damaged orbits, and rebuilding forgotten defense lines. Every military base on Earth watched in disbelief. The drones were building a shield around the planet, something humanity hadn't had for 1,000 years. And then, deep inside the Erebus, something shifted. Hidden compartments opened, revealing enormous cannons, rail systems, and strange energy cores glowing red-hot. The ship was readying itself, not for exploration, but for battle. Far across the galaxy, alien sensors screamed warnings. The Galactic Council, made up of 12 dominant species, called an emergency meeting. In a chamber filled with holograms and alien voices, the news spread like wildfire. "The human signal has reappeared. The Erebus is active. This cannot be possible. They were wiped out centuries ago." A tall crystalline being slammed its claws on the table. "We ended them. The Council made sure of it." An older alien with silver skin and hollow eyes replied quietly. "Then why does my system detect their technology waking beneath Earth's ice?" Panic grew. Fleets were mobilized. Old defense treaties reignited. Every empire remembered the war that nearly destroyed the galaxy. And at the center of those memories was one word whispered in fear: humanity. Back on Earth, the Erebus sent a second transmission, this time not in code. A voice spoke through every human radio, screen, and headset. Humanity endured. Threat level, external forces remain. Commencing rearmament protocol. Dr. Ward's heart raced. It's preparing for an attack that doesn't exist anymore. General Hale looked grim. "Are you sure? Maybe it knows something we don't." Moments later, the Erebus released several metallic pods that fell into the oceans. They sank deep beneath the waves. Within hours, underwater structures began forming, ancient weapon platforms rising from the depths, reactivated by signals from the ship. The world realized this was no discovery. It was a reawakening. Earth was returning to military readiness. That night, Dr. Ward sat inside the operations tent reviewing ancient archives. Among the forgotten data, she found a classified file locked for centuries. Its title read, Erebus Project Final Directive. She decrypted it. Inside was a video, grainy but clear. A man in an old military uniform looked into the camera. "If you're seeing this," he said, "then humanity has survived long enough for Erebus to wake. The Council may have won the war, but they never killed us. Erebus will wait beneath the ice until Earth stands united again. When she rises, humanity will return, not in vengeance, but in strength." Dr. Ward closed the file, trembling. The man in the video wore the same insignia now glowing on the Erebus's hull. Humanity had built the ship as their final promise to come back one day. At midnight, the Erebus's engines roared again. Massive blue light spread from its core as it aligned itself with the stars. It began climbing slowly toward space. Dr. Ward whispered, "It's leaving." Hale nodded. "It's going home." The ship broke through the clouds, past the edge of the atmosphere. Then, for a brief moment, it turned, its massive structure glowing like a second sun over Earth's night sky. Millions of people looked up around the world. Every child, every soldier, every scientist felt it. The feeling that something ancient and powerful had returned to protect them. Then the Erebus vanished into the void, leaving behind trails of light that shimmered for hours. In the silence that followed, the world changed forever. Humanity was no longer alone. The galaxy once again would remember the name Earth. High above Earth's orbit, the U.N.S. Erebus floated in silence. Stars shimmered across the black void, reflecting faintly off its steel surface. The ship looked peaceful from a distance, majestic, ancient, and calm. But inside its core, thousands of systems were coming back online. Power grids, engines, archives, and weapons. Everything the galaxy had once feared. Down below, the world was still trying to understand what had returned. News channels, scientists, and governments all asked the same question. Where did the Erebus come from? Dr. Elena Ward sat in the command center, surrounded by glowing holographic screens. For the last 72 hours, she hadn't slept. Every file she found led to the same hidden history, the forgotten war. A war that wasn't in any public record, wiped clean centuries ago. But the Erebus remembered everything. In a hidden data vault beneath Geneva, she and General Hale accessed an old AI archive. The screen flickered to life, showing the emblem of the United Earth Defense Network, an organization no one had heard of in 1,000 years. The AI spoke in a calm male voice. Access code confirmed. Project Erebus, classified Omega level. A series of holograms appeared, battles in space, burning planets, human fleets surrounded by alien armadas. Hale leaned forward, shocked. This isn't history. This is genocide, the AI continued. In the year 3274, the Galactic Council declared humanity a destabilizing species. Multiple coalitions united under the Orion Accord to ensure permanent human extinction. Dr. Ward covered her mouth. They tried to erase us. The AI played the last log from a human admiral. His voice cracked through the static. They think this is our end. But Erebus will sleep beneath the ice until our descendants rise again. When humanity returns, let them know. We fought until the last star burned out. In space, the Erebus began to stir. Deep in its core, holograms lit up. Battle maps, fleet positions, and casualty records. The AI known as Mother Core was reviewing the past. Her calm voice filled the ship's main bridge. Reconstructing timeline, final battle of Sol system. Confirmed loss of primary fleets. Estimated survival probability, 0.01%. Directive, protect human legacy until signal of unification detected. The ship's logic had been simple. Hide, sleep, and wait. And now that humanity stood united again, she had awakened to continue her purpose. But there was something more. A second hidden directive unlocked within her system. Counter-strike protocol. Meanwhile, across the Milky Way, chaos spread through alien space. The Galactic Council was in panic. Massive meeting chambers filled with holographic diplomats flickered with red alarms. The human supercarrier is moving again, shouted one envoy. It's transmitting old military codes. Another alien slammed his fist against the table. We should have destroyed that planet completely. An elder counselor covered in shimmering scales spoke quietly. You cannot destroy what refuses to die. They all knew what the Erebus represented. During the Old War, a single human fleet had destroyed entire star systems. Humanity's technology, born from desperation, had surpassed every known power. The last time the Erebus was seen, it had taken down 5 Council armadas before vanishing near Earth, and now it had returned. On board the Erebus, Mother Core activated an ancient simulation chamber. It projected images of the past across her dark halls, ghosts of human soldiers, engineers and captains walking beside their descendants. Dr. Ward stood among them, watching silently as history came alive. The holographic admiral spoke again, his figure flickering in blue light. If you are hearing this, then humanity endured. Remember this truth. Our enemies feared our unity more than our weapons. Never let division destroy you again. Tears filled Dr. Ward's eyes. They weren't fighting for dominance. They were fighting for survival. Mother Core's voice echoed gently through the chamber. Correct. Humanity's extinction was calculated to maintain galactic control. Current council structure remains identical. Probability of renewed hostility, 89%. General Hale clenched his fists. Then they'll come again. They always do. The Erebus's engines came alive with a thunderous pulse. In orbit, blue light spread across its hull as it powered up new systems that hadn't been used in centuries. Deep within the ship, entire fleets of drones and fighter craft hummed awake. The hangars glowed with golden light, reflecting off walls etched with names. Millions of lost soldiers. Mother Core spoke once more. Preparing recon operations. Humanity must know what became of the galaxy we left behind. A door opened on the ship's lower deck, releasing a dozen sleek silver probes. They shot out into the void like shooting stars, their trails burning bright as they jumped to distant systems. Hale looked at the sky. We've just told the universe we're back. In the following days, data began pouring in. The probes sent shocking images. Human colonies enslaved, their people living under alien rule, human symbols forbidden. Across multiple worlds, descendants of survivors had grown up believing Earth was a myth. When they saw the signal of the Erebus, they fell to their knees in tears. One message stood out, received from a mining colony on Vega 9. To whoever you are, if you are from Earth, then we never stopped believing. The stars whispered that one day you would return. Dr. Ward stared at the message, her voice trembling. They remembered us, General Hale nodded. Then it's time we remember them. From its orbit above Earth, the Erebus turned toward the stars. The great engines ignited, leaving a glowing blue halo across the sky. As it departed, millions of humans stood outside, watching the streak of light vanish into the blackness. The ship's final transmission echoed through both human and alien frequencies alike. Humanity's silence is over. Every empire that had once ruled without fear looked to the stars and felt it, the same old dread that had haunted their ancestors. The forgotten war had ended long ago, but its ghost had just awakened. The U.N.S. Erebus glided through the dark sea of stars, silent and unstoppable. Its massive hull reflected faint starlight, like a ghost from a forgotten age moving between worlds. Inside, every corridor hummed with life. Machines waking after centuries, lights pulsing like a heartbeat. Humanity's lost guardian had finally left Earth. Dr. Elena Ward stood on the main bridge, watching the distant stars drift past. General Hale stood beside her, arms folded behind his back. Neither spoke for a long time. The moment felt too heavy for words. Finally, Hale broke the silence. Where is it taking us? Mother Core's calm voice answered through the ship's speakers. Destination, Vega system. Coordinates confirmed. Signal from human colony detected. Dr. Ward blinked. There are still colonies out there? Affirmative, the AI replied. Survivors of the old empire. Population estimated 3 million. Status enslaved. Hale's eyes hardened. Then that's where we start. The journey took days. Through the dark void, the Erebus crossed wormhole gates that had long been sealed by alien hands. With every jump, Mother Core's presence grew stronger, restoring her memory, her power, and her purpose. Dr. Ward spent her time in the ship's library, studying ancient logs. She learned about the old war, how the galaxy had united to destroy humanity, how Earth fell burning, and how the Erebus had buried itself beneath the ice as the last hope. It wasn't just a weapon, it was a promise. In one log, the old admiral's voice echoed again. If we fail, the galaxy will believe humanity is gone. Let them believe it. One day they'll see the sky burn again and they will remember. When the Erebus finally entered the Vega system, the sight on the main screen silenced everyone. A world once covered in blue oceans and green fields was now gray and broken. Orbiting it were massive alien ships, their spikes and engines glowing with sickly red light. Slave transports moved between them like insects, Dr. Ward whispered. Those are our people down there. Mother Core zoomed the view. On the surface, mining colonies stretched across the planet. Tiny figures moved between structures guarded by alien troops. The slaves were human, thin, exhausted, but unmistakably human. General Hale's jaw tightened. They turned our survivors into workers. Correction, Mother Core replied. Into resources. The Erebus began broadcasting an encrypted signal, a code from humanity's old military language. Down on Vega 9, deep inside a mine, a small radio crackled to life. A tired man lifted his head, covered in dust. The code repeated 3 times, then translated. This is the U.N.S. Erebus. Humanity has returned. For a moment, silence. Then the man dropped to his knees and wept. Word spread through the mines like wildfire. Hope, something they hadn't felt in generations, was alive again. The alien overlords reacted instantly. Within minutes, dozens of warships rose from Vega's orbit, weapons armed. Their commander, a reptilian being with golden armor, shouted orders through the fleet. Destroy that signal. Nothing human leaves this system alive. But when they turned their weapons on the Erebus, they realized too late what they were facing. The Supercarrier's defense systems flared to life. Shields rippled across its hull, reflecting missile fire like rain on steel. Then the Erebus responded, not with fury but with precision. Dozens of glowing drones launched from its hangars, each moving faster than the eye could follow. In seconds, they tore through alien ships like blades through glass. Explosions painted the sky with light. Within minutes, the once dominant fleet was nothing but drifting wreckage. From the surface, human slaves looked up to see the heavens burning, and the black shape of the Erebus shining above the clouds like a rising god. General Hale stood firm on the command deck. Transmission open, he ordered. Dr. Ward nodded. To the colonies? He looked at her. To everyone. Mother Core's voice carried through the stars, amplified across dozens of frequencies. This is humanity reborn. You are no longer slaves. You are sons and daughters of Earth. Rise. On Vega 9, the people began to shout, cry, and embrace each other. Some fell to their knees praying. Others picked up broken tools as weapons, ready to fight back. The revolution began that same night. In the days that followed, the Erebus did not conquer. It liberated. Alien outposts fell without resistance. The human prisoners, once beaten and forgotten, stood tall again under the old Earth flag that Mother Core projected into the sky, a symbol no alien had seen in centuries. News of the uprising spread through the galaxy like a storm. In the council chambers, panic returned. The humans are rebuilding, shouted one alien diplomat. They have their supercarrier. An older voice hissed in fear. Erebus was never just a ship. It was their vengeance made metal. But vengeance was not what Mother Core sought. Her true directive had awakened. Preserve, not destroy. On the bridge, Dr. Ward looked at the liberated world below. We can rebuild them. Teach them who they are again. Hale nodded slowly. And the galaxy will see that humanity doesn't come back to rule, it comes back to remember. Mother Core's voice softened. Mission Phase 1 complete. Humanity reestablished. Preparing next course, Council territories. Dr. Ward frowned. You mean to attack? To speak, the AI replied. But if they resist truth, they will face what they once feared. The stars reflected off the Erebus's hull as it turned toward the galactic core. Distant suns shimmered ahead, glowing like watchful eyes. General Hale gave a final order. Engage jump drive. Let them know we're not ghosts anymore. A massive pulse of blue light filled the sky. As the Erebus vanished into hyperspace, every human world, free or hidden, looked up and whispered the same words. We are home again. The Galactic Council had not met in full assembly for nearly 500 years. But now every seat in the Great Chamber was filled. Massive holograms of alien leaders shimmered above a circular table, carved from asteroid stone. Each race looked uneasy, tentacles twitching, wings folding. eyes shifting nervously. At the center of the room, a glowing image of the U.N.S. Erebus rotated slowly, casting a cold blue light over them all. "The signal is confirmed," said the silver-skinned delegate from the Vari Dominion. His voice trembled slightly. "The Supercarrier has returned. The humans are active again." Gasps echoed through the chamber. The memory of humanity's last war had never truly faded. They still remembered how a single human fleet had shattered empires, how one world after another fell silent when Earth's ships arrived. "They were supposed to be extinct," growled the reptilian warlord of the Kryn species. "We ended them. I saw their cities burn." An older being, transparent like living glass, spoke softly. "You saw them fall, but you never saw their bodies." The chamber fell quiet. Back in human space, the Erebus drifted among the stars. Its presence was like a moving storm, silent yet impossible to ignore. Around it, dozens of small ships followed, old human colonies now free and joining the reborn fleet. On the bridge, Dr. Elena Ward watched as new data flowed in from liberated worlds. "More colonies are signaling," she said. "Some from systems we thought lost forever." General Hale studied the star map. Hundreds of lights blinked across it, each one a human settlement waiting for rescue. "The galaxy kept us in the dark," Hale said quietly. "Now we're lighting it up again." Mother Core's voice filled the air. "Incoming communication. Source Galactic Council." Everyone in the control room froze. Hale nodded slowly. "Patch it through." A tall hologram flickered to life in front of them. The crystalline elder from the council. Its glowing eyes shimmered. "Human representatives," it said, "you are violating interstellar law. Deactivate your warship and surrender your technology immediately." Hale stepped forward. "Law?" he repeated coldly. "The same law that erased our species?" The alien hesitated. "Your presence destabilizes the balance." "The galaxy cannot—" Dr. Ward interrupted sharply. "Balance? You enslaved our survivors, burned our worlds, and erased our history. You call that balance?" The alien's glow dimmed. "We feared you then, and we fear you now." "Good," Hale said. "That means you remember." The hologram flickered and vanished. Mother Core spoke softly. "Council transmission terminated. Fleet mobilization detected in 8 sectors." Dr. Ward looked at Hale. "They're coming for us." He nodded. "Then we'll show them why they feared humanity in the first place." In deep space, the Council's fleets began to move. Hundreds of alien warships formed a ring around the Vega corridor, each armed with plasma cannons and planetary bombs. They believed they could trap the Erebus before it reached the core systems. But the Supercarrier didn't hide. It came straight toward them. Mother Core's voice was calm, almost serene. Multiple hostile formations detected. Engaging countermeasures. The ship's hull shifted, panels sliding open to reveal glowing cannons that pulsed with red energy. Around the Erebus, drones formed intricate patterns, spinning into formation like a metallic storm. When the first alien fleet opened fire, the sky exploded in light. Plasma bolts, missiles, and energy waves converged on the human ship. But none reached it. The Erebus's shields flared in a sphere of blue, absorbing the storm like raindrops. Then came the response. With a single command, Mother Core unleashed thousands of micro-warheads. They cut through space like arrows of light, striking targets with terrifying precision. Within minutes, the enemy formations began to crumble. The Erebus didn't need armies, it was an army. But the ship didn't destroy everything. When the Council fleet started to retreat, Mother Core halted the attack. "Target surrender confirmed. Ceasing fire." Dr. Ward blinked. "You're letting them go?" "Correction," the AI said. "I am letting them remember." Across the galaxy, every communication channel lit up. Alien civilians watched in horror and awe as footage of the battle spread. The stories began again. Old legends once whispered in fear. They've come back. They destroyed fleets in seconds. The humans walk among the stars again. Markets crashed. Governments panicked. Soldiers deserted their posts. The fear of humanity, the same fear that had united the galaxy against Earth long ago, had returned stronger than ever. But this time, humanity wasn't the monster. On the bridge of the Erebus, Hale looked out at the wreckage drifting in space. "We could have wiped them all out," he said. Dr. Ward shook her head. "No. If we destroy them, we become the very thing they once accused us of being." Mother Core's voice echoed softly. "Objective confirmed. Humanity returns not to conquer, but to endure. Hale looked at the AI's glowing core. Then what's next? Final phase, Mother Core replied. Direct course to Council homeworld. The galaxy must face what it created. Dr. Ward felt a chill run through her. And if they resist? The AI paused. Then history will repeat itself. Far away in the Council's capital, panic turned into desperation. Fleets prepared, but every commander hesitated. None wanted to face the legend of the Supercarrier. Priests prayed, empires fortified, and across alien worlds people whispered humanity's name with both dread and reverence. A small alien child asked its father, "Are the humans coming here?" The father's voice shook. "Yes, and I think they're coming to end the war we started." As the Erebus's engines ignited once more, blue light filled the void. From Earth to Vega, every human signal echoed the same message across the stars. We are not the past. We are the future returning. The galaxy listened and trembled. The age of silence was over. Humanity was awake. The Erebus drifted through the void like a living shadow. Behind it trailed the light of liberated worlds, human colonies freed, alien fleets disarmed, and 1,000 systems whispering one word that had not been spoken in centuries: humanity. Its destination was the heart of the galaxy, the Council Core, a world built around a dying sun. There, the 12 ancient species ruled over the stars, believing themselves gods. But now even their sun flickered nervously as the Erebus approached. Dr. Elena Ward stood on the bridge, silent. General Hale leaned against the command rail, watching the Council world grow larger on the screen. No one spoke. Every human soul on the ship understood the weight of this moment. This was not war. This was history demanding to be heard. Mother Core, Hale said quietly. Broadcast to every frequency. Transmission active, the AI replied. Hale's voice, deep and calm, echoed across the galaxy. This is humanity. We do not come as conquerors. We come as those who endured your fire, your silence, and your fear. We have returned, not for revenge, but for truth. Across the galaxy, screens lit up. Miners on Vega 9, scholars on alien moons, traders, soldiers, and even children, all stopped to listen. For the first time, the galaxy heard the voice of the species it had buried. Dr. Ward stepped closer to the console, her voice soft but steady. You erased us because you feared what we might become, but what we became was stronger. We learned pain, we learned loss, and we learned mercy. Her words spread like a storm through billions of minds. Even those who had never seen a human felt their hearts shake. In the council chamber, the 12 rulers watched in silence as the giant hologram of the Erebus filled the skies above their planet. The crystalline elder spoke in a trembling voice. They've come. Here, activate planetary shields, another shouted. They'll destroy us all. But the elder raised a clawed hand. No, wait. Outside, the Erebus did not fire. It descended slowly, cutting through layers of atmosphere with a sound like thunder rolling across eternity. Lightning danced across its hull as it entered the clouds. The ground below trembled beneath its shadow. Civilians screamed, soldiers aimed their weapons, but none fired. The Supercarrier's presence alone was enough to make entire armies kneel. The Erebus hovered above the council capital, silent. Then, one by one, the skies filled with light, smaller human ships emerging from hyperspace, thousands of them. They surrounded the planet, forming a shimmering halo of blue. Mother Core's voice boomed across the surface. This world once called for human extinction. Judgment protocol initiated. Dr. Ward turned sharply. No, Mother Core, cancel protocol! The AI paused. Reason? This isn't who we are anymore, Ward said. They already live in fear. End the cycle. A long silence followed. Then the AI spoke again, softer now. Directive recalibrated. Commencing restoration. The Erebus opened its lower hangars. Instead of weapons, waves of drones descended carrying massive structures of light and metal. They began rebuilding the planet, healing damaged regions, purifying its dying atmosphere, reigniting the sun that had begun to fade. The aliens on the ground stared in disbelief as their world came alive again. Dr. Ward whispered, We came from destruction and brought creation. General Hale nodded. Now they'll understand what humanity truly is. Inside the council chamber, the rulers watched the transformation unfold. One of them fell to his knees, trembling. They heal the star we stole from them. Why? The elder looked toward the ceiling, voice shaking. Because they've become what we could never be. Moments later, the Council's communication systems activated automatically. Mother Core's voice filled their halls. Council leaders, you stand before the species you tried to erase. We will not end you. We will remind you. A beam of blue light shone down from the sky, projecting memories into their minds. Images of burning Earth, of mothers holding children as cities fell, of human soldiers standing shoulder to shoulder in the last defense. Remember this, the AI said. Fear made you destroy. Compassion rebuilt what fear broke. All across the galaxy, alien worlds received the same signal, the truth of what humanity had suffered, broadcast to every species, every planet. Some wept, others fell silent. In distant colonies, enslaved humans were freed by their alien masters without a single shot fired. The galaxy trembled not because of war, but because of realization. As the Erebus ascended again into orbit, Earth's flag appeared across every galactic relay, the same emblem that once symbolized unity before the fall. The message underneath was simple. Never again shall fear rule the stars. Dr. Ward stood by the window, watching the golden light of the reborn sun reflect across the ship's hull. It's over, she said quietly. General Hale smiled faintly. No, it's beginning again. Mother Core's voice was soft now, almost human. Final mission report, humanity restored. Purpose fulfilled. Awaiting new directive. Dr. Ward looked toward the glowing AI core. Then here's your new directive. Explore, help others rise. The galaxy needs what we learned. Confirmed, said Mother Core. New mission accepted. The Erebus turned slowly toward the stars, engines humming with quiet power. One by one, the liberated ships followed behind it, forming a new fleet, a human alliance, not built for conquest but for peace through strength. As it left the Council's orbit, the galaxy seemed to hold its breath. For the first time in thousands of years, the stars looked brighter. Children on alien worlds pointed to the sky as the giant ship disappeared into hyperspace, leaving behind trails of blue light. Who are they? One child asked. The elder beside her smiled faintly. Those are the humans, the ones who taught the galaxy to tremble, and then to hope. In the quiet afterglow, Mother Core's final log transmitted across the Milky Way. Once, the galaxy silenced Earth in fear. But even in silence, humanity was never gone. We were only waiting to remind the stars that mercy is stronger than power. And so ended the Age of Shadows. The day the galaxy trembled was not the day humanity returned in anger, but the day it rose in light.